Genesis, that presidents, drop a gem on them. Be on earth, these the last days, throw your get money. Quiet storm, have it stars. For the cream, renegade. For the money, only green is the I'm a player on the late night tips. So they see the prototype. Fingertips, reservoir dog. Check the skull, ignorant. Can I live? Still film it, kiss the death, forever take your neck. Three boys in the Cadillac, grave digger, kiss the death, forever take your neck. Shame on the three boys in the Cadillac, grave digger. Money over my hands. Here lies young.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of Wild Card Weekend on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Arizona Cardinals.
We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. Tonight, it's the NFC's turn to take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap between the Detroit Lions and the Arizona Cardinals. And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now, penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Again to Henry. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity late.
Pressure comes and the Cardinals bring him down.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Cardinals, great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they're in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense, because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now a toss. This is Gallman. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. A great play there. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead. Well, we knew they had the crowd on their side. Their defense has already made a stop, and now here's an opening drive touchdown.
Yeah, how about the defense making the stop, offense feeling their momentum that they've generated, and turning it into points on their side. So now you've got a team working together, and you get the crowd involved fully on their side in this ball game.
And in this playoff atmosphere, that 12th man means even more. And now back out comes the offense. They bring the 5 seed into the playoffs. Of course, they're one of the wild card teams. And when you're a wild card team, it makes it a little bit tougher. You have to win the extra game. But there's been a precedent set of teams doing that successfully in the past.
And it's usually teams that have aspects that really jump out at you and it really factors in the playoffs. I mean, Pittsburgh, they rode a heavy run game with Jerome Bettis when they won in 2005. And then don't forget the Giants in 2007, that season, pass rush. Remember how big that was for them during the playoffs. And for Green Bay, it was the quarterback play of Aaron Rodgers. So to me, it's a matter of what's going to affect the game in a big way. Can that aspect of your team really make those plays? A lot of times it's pass rush and quarterback play. I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Open man is Kirk, complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
3rd and 2, now Taylor. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Here comes the Lions punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in this 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you run into big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And he'll be brought down here at the 28. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner is giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, it does hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when, When a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
A really good pickup of 28 yards. They'll run with a former Tar Heel, T.J. Logan. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. A great effort there. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Added in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness. You got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And Detroit getting set to go now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Taylor will throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Taylor. Connects with Sanu right side. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Now, that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the first down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
The drive begins with a handoff to Gallman. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
A shotgun snap for Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And now he's got him in a great spot at the 8-yard line here, 1st and goal. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And Detroit getting set to go now. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
And he's brought down, but not before a really nice stiff arm to create a little space. A good run, 8 yards there, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Now Taylor to throw on 2nd down. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Lions have got it back to a 1-score game. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Tucker with the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. This is T.J. Logan to return it. He's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Now Gallman. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They get 14 yards there and a 1st down.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box there.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory. Well, they're certainly running the ball pretty well on this drive, and all I remember as a secondary guy was if you're making a lot of tackles in a game, that's usually not good for your defense. You've got to figure out how to keep things in front of you because you know there's 3 levels. Defensive line, linebackers, and into the secondary. And if the 3rd level is leading your team in tackles,
and he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. And always a good 1st half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
The point after is good. And it's now 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Derrick Henry. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. And we were down on the field watching Henry warm up before the game. He's a big man. No wonder he breaks those tackles.
And you remember what I told you when we were watching? It's not all pads. I mean, you get him out of pads and just see him in a regular suit or an outfit. He is a huge human being and a lot faster than what people know. When he gets rolling, he's a lot to bring down.
Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack is a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Ready. 3-19.
They go play action here on first down. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Ready. 3-19.
A first down carry for Henry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. And his throw is incomplete.
It's been my observation. There's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And able to find Kirk complete. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first.
Here we go. Blue 90.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He's got it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
Well, he made that catch knowing full well that at the end of it, he's going to catch a pretty good lick.
I guess if there's anyone on this team that can absorb a pop, it's him.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Trying to punch it in with Henry. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Derrick Henry punching it in from a yard away. And the Lions able to get this back within a touchdown. And they drew up the counter there. It worked. They're glad they drew up the counter.
And a lot of times what you're trying to do is just simply get the defense moving in one direction. It doesn't take much. Even one step's enough. Get them going in one direction and then cut back against the grain and let your running back finish it off and get the work done.
With it on the return is Logan. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
To throw is Watson. Rolling to his right. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. He had gained really good yardage, but that's what you tell your quarterbacks, right? Get down after you've got the run.
You don't have to prove your toughness. You know, I think that's what a lot of coaches are trying to preach to their guys. Get the yardage, get down, protect the football, and protect yourself.
The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's James. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. Looking to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. Now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. So out now come the Cardinals. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Watson, off play action. He's got his man on the crossing route. And now running right through it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. On first down, Watson. Oh, he nearly picked it. Maybe daylight in front of him if he could have held on. Instead, 2nd down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. So we come upon halftime here in this. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this 3rd quarter. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Watson now to throw, and that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offensive coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, it's Watson. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That one goes for 24 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
11 more on that one and another first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. A great effort there, saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On second down, Taylor. And the hit turned it loose. It's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Here comes the Lions punter now. He's been terrific so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Taking it about the 16. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now.
Most players will tell you that night games, while they can be fun, they're really hard to prepare for, because you wake up on game day and all you want to do is get to the stadium and let's get going. But you got to bank that fire a little bit and hold it until the evening. It's almost like a Broadway premiere. Got to wait until the nighttime to go out there in front of the bright lights. And boy, has he harnessed himself really well, and now he's unleashing it on the opponents.
Come back!
On 1st and 10, Watson. And this one is incomplete.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again on 2nd and 10, Watson. That is caught inside the 5. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. In for the score. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. Well, look, this is a team, Charles. They faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division. But they're putting it all together here in the wild card game.
Feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game. A message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
This fielded at the 2, twisting away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Now let's go.
They'll set up a throw. Completes it to Kirk over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
They'll look to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. A big play there for Detroit. 44 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal.
But a spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the 2nd score there. They'll give it to him up the middle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Probably going to have to stretch for this one. This is 4-down territory. They've got to get it in with the deficit that they're facing.
Absolutely. It's not the 4th quarter, but still, I think you can't be thinking 3 here. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit, as his guys are in for 6. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air, because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They start on the ground with Goldman. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy, because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe just sitting out and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
And he'll get about 4 there as he takes him from the 10 down to the 6. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
And the ball smacked down on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Oh, and a bad throw there. And I do believe this is going to wind up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play? Wow, what a disaster. You talk about a guy making a good play on the interception and then just trying to be too cute on the return.
It almost felt like his own gyroscope really got out of whack, didn't it? Going backwards into your own end zone after such a great play. Totally disoriented and gave up 2 points for his team.
This play is under review. After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. With his guys trailing here in the fourth, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Green, 39.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Back to throw here. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. The Lions on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Let's go. 319. 319.
They'll look to throw here. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down.
Offense.
In this case, it didn't happen.
So that'll back him up 5. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
All right, here we go. 319.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. They'll run again here with Gallman, and he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it down to the 48. Enough for the first. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Watson on first down. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Here's Gallman. Shifts by him at the 25. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Black 99 Philly.
And Watson's going to throw it here. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. Oh, lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
Kick is indeed good, and that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points, so while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
So here come the Lions now. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game in this sequence here. Maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call. And you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all that yardage.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Kayvon Webster. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Throwing now, Watson. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.